Hi, my name is Terry Cole. I'm with Remax Realty Affiliates, and welcome to Business of the Month. This month, I am so pleased to have Dr. Karen Gedney. Dr. Gedney, or warmly known as Dr. G, had a fascinating career as a senior medical professional at a local prison. Dr. G recently wrote a thought-provoking, compassionate, can't put it down book called 30 Years Behind Bars. It's a book that shifted my perspective on prisoners and the prison system. So, Dr. G, welcome to Business of the Month.
Thank you, Terry.
And please tell us what inspired you to write this book.
There were a number of things, but I will share that when I would come home and talk to people about the prison, they would say, "Oh my God, you've got to write a book." So that was one. The other thing was that I really wanted to make sure that what I experienced I could share with the outside world so they could see what I saw as 30 years as a doctor.
Sure.
And how to share it was, let's say, an issue because I'm a prison doc in Nevada and I don't really know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the decision to write a book because I thought books can change the way people think, because they changed the way I thought when I was a kid. In fact, that's what inspired me to be a doctor. So I decided to write that book so people would see the inmates in the system through the eyes of someone oriented to understand and heal versus judge and harm.
Yes. That is the piece I got from your book, was the healing. And with that said, there's so many programs and things we can do as a society and a community to help our children and people who might be heading towards prison. So what would be one thing that you would recommend that we can do to maybe make a difference?
To me, the most important thing is that if you understand that the adverse circumstances that have to happen to children really heighten their risk for getting involved with the criminal justice system and ending up in prison, then how do you reduce that risk?
Right.
And for me, it is very much the importance of a good role model, a good mentor who can, one, believe in that child and expose that child to things that they would not have been exposed to in other circumstances, in terms of the way to think, what to value, that someone does believe in them and gives them opportunities that they may have not had before. And my husband and I have actually mentored kids at risk for whether they don't have a father or whether they had fathers in prisons. And that has really profoundly changed our lives too, because we didn't have children. Mm-hmm. And the children we mentored became a bit like our godchildren. And I must say, I dragged my poor husband into the prison to mentor the inmates. And they also look at him as a father or an uncle that they never had. And that affected their lives as well.
Wonderful. So get out there and mentor, I think, is the simple way of making a difference. I know you have an upcoming book launch, so can you tell us a little bit about that that's coming out?
Yeah, this is my first book launch, and it is at the Elm Estates in Reno, which is 1401 West 2nd Street, this Friday, the 18th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And I'm really praying that the weather will be good.
Well, wonderful. I'll go ahead and post all information on the upcoming book launch for 30 Years Behind Bars. It changed my perspective, and thank you for writing this book.
Thank you. And can I add one thing?
Absolutely.
Okay. And that is, I would love if you actually read the book and are inspired by the book. I would love if you would share it with others, but also refer me to possible speaking engagements in book clubs, organizations, schools, places where maybe that message should be heard. I would really appreciate that if you love the book.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again for your work in our
Thank you, Terry.
community. Be well. See you next month. Thank you.
And thank you for listening.